Let me ask an honest question and just somebody out there actually break your fucking little whatever the fuck it is and talk to me in person about this. Did you literally put me into some credit union? And the understanding of that was that I was supposed to go in and get a certain kind of surgery, or I was supposed to get certain kinds of medical treatment, up to and including actual prescription drugs for pain or for mental disease. And it would be paid for by Medicare or whatever the health care was. And then I was supposed to give back by consuming. And then that justified you being able to have access to my intangible property in some sort of pooled collateral. And when I did not op- exercise the option somebody else set up around being identified as transgender and getting gender reassignment surgery or getting some cosmetic surgery, including in connection with my breast, or maybe some other kind of plastic surgery, like maybe a stomach staple operation once I gained all that weight. And or then when they designated me as having to have a need for knee replacement surgery, and or I was supposed to invest in a certain kind of physical therapy that was paid for, and or have some sort of identification with a mental illness or a stress disorder that would then require a prescription for medicinal marijuana, which I would then consume after I had the prescription provided, and also went through a political lobbying process to legitimize the public health insurance paying for my prescription for medicinal marijuana. When I didn't consume that, you had no way to pay me for what you were taking from me as part of the credit union, right? And so now there's a problem because I also have refused to engage in sexual activity, which means you can't even make the justification for acquiring what I have to offer through amortization or through some sort of other conveyance as an exchange because I never consented to being cybernetically enhanced and or connected to systematologies that would sexually exploit me. And the problem is that I see it as sexual exploitation, and I never understood that breaking me down in what was supposed to be a medical context was a form of commerce. And that there was supposed to be an acknowledgement that there was a legitimate form of payment that one obtained to provide to others by consuming medical services or what's allowed to be represented as medical treatment. So now we've got a problem because a great deal of what was misrepresented as medical treatment was actually product development for companies that, by the way, if I had not been retaliated against politically for being successful when I was 18 years old and a freshman in college, if I had not been retaliated against and forced out of being able to go to college because I was politically active and I was actually successful at what I did, then I may well have gotten a job that in some way, shape, or form engaged in some sort of tactical or other development in direct connection with or league with or as a member of the military. And that could have involved military law. And that could have involved exercising ethics or exercising compliance standards related to R&D. So you never would have been tortured and lied to about it being medical treatment because they would never have been able to get away with it. And they would never have been able to electronically assault you and try to tell you that somehow it's about getting medical treatment. But there's been 10 friggin' years of everybody lying about it, and you want to try to hold me to obligations to have my body tortured and broken? You want to code it so I'm not even allowed to get my own, I'm not allowed to make money so I can go get my own food because you want me to get diabetes. You want to program me to get diabetes so then I go to some medical technician who gets paid actual money to hook me up on the machines that are going to steal my biological materials, which, by the way, is going to be used by weapons companies, including weapons companies that work with the oil and gas sector, including weapons companies that work with the nuclear energy sector, and including weapons companies that work with the pharmaceutical industry. Not to mention the processes by which you process your payrolls. And you would have investments in connection with the schemes that finance your fucking pensions. It was never medical treatment.